Hello, everybody, and welcome to our regular show on Wednesday. Hello, hi. Nice to see you all here watching us. And today we're going to be talking all things channel. Uh, I'm joined today with you, me, host Anastasia. I'm joined from customer support in Restream, and my colleague Sean. Sean, do you want to take a few words to introduce yourself as well?
Absolutely. I'm Sean. I work in the United States. I'm a supervisor for the support team in my region. So I spend my day making sure everybody's getting the highest possible quality support when they contact us by chat or email.
Awesome. Thank you so much. As I said today, guys, we're going to be talking all things channel. So, what channels are the best ones to go live to, how to add them, how to manage them, when to add channels, what to do if channel works or doesn't work. So we're going to be talking and answering all the things channel related questions and other questions as well. So hopefully it will be highly interactive show. So please post your questions. And we have a small surprise for you today as well. At the end of the show or in the middle of the show, we will host a giveaway session. So today is your chance to win. Sean, what do we have in mind to win for people?
Today we're going to be giving away Restream mugs. They are very cool. I should have set one aside. I didn't think to grab one, but they are pretty awesome. They come in two different colors. They do have our signature logo on it, as well as the squid icon that represents one to many. So it's a pretty awesome piece of swag, and that'd be sent directly to you by our
Awesome.
marketing department.
I'm actually looking forward to get one as well myself. I'm still on the waiting list for the mug, so it's pretty amazing. So please stay tuned. We're gonna be, as I said, walking you through the account, but also having a small giveaway today. We're gonna play a small product demo for you right now. While it's playing, please let us know where you're from. We want to know where you're from so we can also chat with you and connect. Please post some comments in the chat and welcome. Hello, guys. Welcome back. Or we back. This is pretty awesome. I saw some responses regarding where the people are from. Let me comment on this one. Odessa, Florida. I'm actually from Ukraine, nearby Odessa. I didn't realize there's Odessa in Florida as well. This is super awesome. Ron, welcome. We also got from people from New Zealand. This is pretty amazing. It would be interesting to know what time right now is in New Zealand. It feels like it's different world. Orlando, USA, Detroit. So pretty cool. Welcome everybody. Nice to see you here. Montreal, Canada. This is pretty cool as well. Welcome everybody. So as we're getting warming up, and we're gonna be starting talking about. Oh, we have somebody from Zimbabwe as well. This is super cool. Actually, let me just maybe add some overlay so you guys can all the next comments that you will be posting will be populating here. So post us a little bit more where you're from. It could be visible. Um, so and while we're still getting to know each other, we let's answer the first question from me to Sean about the channel specifically. And the first question will be about um, so since we're talking about channels and what is a good combination of channels to have for your streams? Any recommendations there, Sean?
Absolutely. So it really depends on what the focus of your content is. As a business, you may want to stream to more professional destinations like LinkedIn, which requires a small approval process, but then you can get your personal profile or your business profile to be able to stream the content from your account, as well as you can choose from many of the other destinations like YouTube or Facebook. Facebook pages specifically for businesses is really powerful, as well as Facebook groups to really get a group of people together and be able to receive content that's specific to your material. There's also so many others. If you're a gamer, you're probably very interested in streaming to places like Twitch and Trovo. There's also, of course, going to be a release here very soon for streaming directly to Twitter. So there's going to be a lot of fast progress and growth for streaming to Twitter as they are releasing their new streaming platform starting this Friday. So it's going to be something that we are also participating in. So you can expect to see some pretty big releases regarding the new Twitter functionality. They are, of course, retiring the Periscope. So that's going to be a bit of a transition for a lot of people. We're very excited about that.
Cool. I think I totally with you here. So we have a comment saying that DJ Out Cloud Trucker, I hope I pronounced correctly, that they stream to the radio station. And I would agree with you that choosing the destination highly depends on the type of like what is the content that you're streaming and what are you streaming about. Do you have any specific recommendations for industries maybe, or do you feel like just going as many channels as possible is the best way to go about it? What is your thoughts on this?
More is always better from the perspective of distribution, and it doesn't cost you anything extra to add more of our free 30 channels to your account. So diversify as much as you can. With that as well, there are specific benefits to some channels. I know that the last person was referring to being a DJ. It's sometimes difficult to stream copyrighted music as a DJ because, of course, you're making media that's using the materials produced by other people. So that's when sometimes like a service like Mixcloud can really come in handy, where for a very small fee you can actually stream to their product and they pay the royalties for you. So there is no unintentional strike or ban that can be occurred from playing pre-recorded content that's produced by someone else. Of course, that same thing can also be used in other platforms, but there is always going to be the risk of seeing some kind of a strike or ban. Now, that also can mean that you should seek out or create your own content, in which case there would be no need for worrying about copyrighted material. So if you're a producer creating your own content, you could stream anywhere that you want. You could send that content to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, even here very soon Twitter very easily, and be able to maximize that distribution where you can start to get a following not on one platform, but by diversifying you're resilient. You know, you would be able to survive the retirement of one platform because you were never streaming to just one platform.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. I also this is my philosophy as well. The more the merrier, especially with this functionality RTMP channels, which we're going to be talking a little bit more about. That the more channels you can stream to, the better. I actually had some. This is a pretty cool question from Ron coming in, right about the channels as well. So please post the questions. We will be answering them all. So even if right now we just going to answer them as well. But I thought this is applicable a little bit to the conversation we have is when adding some specific channel, and in this case YouTube, they require specific uh, like approvals for, or we give, or we require, or we approve specific things for YouTube or any other channels. Do you know if Restream does anything with your videos on their end platforms like YouTube or anything else? Do we delete videos or manage them in any way?
It's an excellent question. And just so we can be as clear as possible, no, we do not remove completed content from end platforms. That is not a behavior that Restream has. To add a little clarity as to why that functionality exists in the API connectivity, which is super jargon, I apologize for that. That's the technical term for how we connect to these end platforms, is so that we can remove events appropriately. So that when you've created a Restream event, which posts on the destinations like YouTube and Facebook, if you choose to remove that event for whatever personal reason, maybe you just needed to change the date, time, content, that kind of thing, you want to be able to still remove it from the end platform. Otherwise, the end result would be you having to manually go to the end platform and delete the event that we created. So that's why you'll see in the Facebook and the YouTube functionalities when you're connecting to them, that it does give a specific warning that Restream is given permission to remove content. That is not for the purpose of us reviewing your content for any kind of content violations. That isn't something that Restream does. So you would be able to stream your content to the end destinations without fear of them being removed inadvertently.
Of course, I was just talking to myself. Sometimes I forget to unmute the microphone. So thank you, Sean, so much for answering the question. I totally agree. We don't manage your content in any way. It's you who has the rights. We just, the some permissions we require as part of a standard process. Okie dokie. I think we're now ready for some demo of how to add channels and how to manage your channels. Guys, I see the questions are coming up and we will be answering your questions as well. So please continue to post them. And as we're gonna do a live demo, after the demo, we start answering them and play some giveaways as well. So Sean, do you wanna take a mic to start talking about the demo?
Yeah, and if you would you activate my screen share functionality so I can share a quick and easy way to add a channel? Perfect, thank you for that. So within the Restream Studio, you can add channels. Now there are several ways to go live in Restream. You can use our Restream Studio. You can use an external encoder like Ecamm or OBS. You can also pre-record content and upload it to your account and have that automatically go live. But in all of those situations, the first important step is to make sure that you do have channels. Channels are another way we describe a destination. So if you're adding a destination, we call those channels here. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the Restream Studio. Let me see here. Just a moment. All right, can you hear me better now? So with the Restream Studio, when you're inside the studio, you'll notice it does pre-populate your camera. So you're going to see me a couple of times on here. Sorry about that. But in the top right next to the Go Live function is where you're going to see your destinations list. So with this quick button here, you can actually add and remove specific channels you already have connected. For this demonstration, I am going to go ahead and add another YouTube channel. So if I go here into your destinations list, this is where you would see all of our supported channels. So that means channels that are directly connected into your platform that you can, within just a few button clicks, be able to add to your account. In a bit, we'll get to how you add channels that are not listed on this list, but we'll do that in a moment. So once you're in this list, click on YouTube. This is the example I'm giving. You'll notice that this is a red button here. This is actually because this is YouTube you are using to connect with. So it's going to be asking you for connection details associated with your YouTube account at this point. Go ahead and give that a click. You can't see my pop-up window here, but it basically is just like you would sign into any other Google service. I'm going to go ahead and give it the allow. You'll notice that this page will almost immediately refresh. Once I've said the allow button to give YouTube's permission to access Restream and vice versa, It then takes us to the channel setup page. So this is basically where you're going to select either a pre-existing event that you already created on YouTube or create new, where you actually can select the title. We're going to say this is a test for streaming. And with that as well, you can select your description and the always important category. Categories on YouTube is how they are able to identify what the material is that you're creating. We'll go ahead and say people and blogs. On here, though, privacy is also important. If you're going live to YouTube, YouTube has 3 different categories for privacy, so you can actually select private, where only you can see the content, unlisted, which would be when you can share a link to the content, but it is not going to show up in search results, or standard public, which is how you get your best views. Clicking save, then go ahead and refreshes the page, adds it to the list of channels automatically. You can see that here at the bottom, and I am going to go ahead and turn that channel on. So that's the very rudimentary how to start off adding a channel in the Restream Studio. That works for most people, but maybe you're using Zoom or you're using Ecamm or some other third-party external encoder, which is a great option to add more flexibility to how you're using Restream. And you can do that from this page here. So once you're inside of the main homepage, this is where you start when you go. You can click on this option here, stream with OBS, vMix, etc. Those are external streaming tools. Click on it. This is the encoder page, right? So this is where you can see the content that's coming in. You'll notice it's loading up the stream that I'm currently using because I'm using pairs. So we'll get into that in just a moment. But from this page, you can also very easily go through and add channels and update your titles right from this one page. Same exact process. Click add channel, pick them from the list, sign in, you're good to go. I hope that that helps answer some questions about how you add channels, also known as destinations, while you're using Restream. Oh, we had one other channel we wanted to talk about. What happens when you're adding a channel that isn't on the list of 30? Okay, this is a pretty common question. I'm surprised there hasn't already been posts on chat about this. Instagram is a great example of a channel that isn't listed on our top 30, but you probably would want to add and stream to. In this situation, you would be using a software called Yellow Duck or some other third-party tool that generates the RTMP URL and key necessary for adding a channel that is not on our system automatically. So you can see that when you go into the Add Destinations channel option, here at the very bottom, there's an option that says Custom RTMP. Okay. So RTMP, that's a very technical term. RTMP is the content delivery tool. That is the streaming encoding software that is actually sending media from whatever to whatever. And in this situation, we would be adding Instagram. So I have Yellow Duck installed on this computer, and I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste the details that I'm gathering from Yellow Duck. So Yellow Duck had me sign into my Instagram account. It then populates a bunch of details, and you just paste those details in. I'm going to actually do the wrong thing and show you what my key looks like. Uh-oh. And that's all you have to do. You click the copy and paste functions, put in the URL and the key, and boom, you've created a connection between your Restream account and whatever this third-party software is. So in this case, it is Instagram, but it could have just as easily been any number of destinations, whether it's an Acme server or an Amazon server or any other of the many options that are available in the world of streaming that maybe just aren't listed on our top 30. So I hope that that helps answer some questions around how you would add Instagram or other services not listed on our top 30 to your Restream account. Keep in mind, custom RTMP channels are a paid feature, so you would need to be subscribing to at least our base standard plan.
Awesome. Thank you, Sean, for taking us through the connecting channels. It's good to know. Let me quickly show us again, back again to the room. So we get some questions. Let me start one by one, throwing them at you. So hopefully you can answer them. And again, guys, again, don't worry, we're gonna go to all of them. I'm just gonna pick them slowly. So one good question we got is from Loveson is what channels are the best one for church? Do you want to walk us through a little bit what you know,
Yeah,
what you trends that you notice?
absolutely. So there are direct platforms that I've seen where they are going to be asking that you have an embed feature, like something that is an iframe that you could then paste onto a church platform. I've seen that a lot. And so with that, we would recommend using the embed features from YouTube or Facebook, some other destination you're already leveraging that can then easily copy that material into your church online platform. Also, it's very common to have a Facebook page or even a Facebook group that is then used for the purpose of not necessarily marketing, because that feels a little bit less like what a church goal would be, but instead content delivery and distribution, making sure that your people who are then going to maybe not be able to come into church that day would be able to still attend and participate and receive the message directly on Facebook or YouTube. Facebook specifically, though, seems to be a very high use category because of its ability to have a little bit more restrictions and content censorship, and the ability to have a page that people are going to regularly to be able to see your updates. And also, of course, with Restream events, you can post an upcoming content that's going to be advertised maybe a little bit more specifically. Maybe you could then talk about what the material is you're going to be discussing in your weekly sermon. And that allows for you to be able to give a little bit of insight and a little bit of heads up, even maybe in the description, providing a few important details like material you could read in advance to be prepared to receive the message.
What about streaming to the website? Does it? What do you
Mm.
think about? I know actually two things I heard from churches. One is maybe streaming pre-recorded videos, and one is streaming to the website. What's your thoughts on
Mm.
this one?
So, that's a really great situation with the pre-recorded content. If you're using a paid plan of Restream, even the standard plan, it does give you access to the Restream recording functionalities. That allows you to take a live stream today and turn it into a Restream or a playback of a pre-recorded content later on today or later on in the week, even a week or two later, to be able to then use that content more than once and allow for it to be something that has more value and more use, even though it was a single use potentially. Also, with that, you had mentioned the streaming to a website. That is something that
Yes,
is going to
we got a
be
few questions on this one as well. So, is there any? So somebody has already preempted a little bit of question about embedding the videos. But maybe you can tell us a little bit more what you know as well on this one.
Absolutely. So it's kind of a twofold question. So whether or not you want to stream live content to your website, or if you want to stream content that was live, platforms like Facebook and YouTube automatically create a recording of your content, and they do provide the option to embed that media into other websites. That is the quick and easiest way to do this. We also offer a help center guide in our help center that can help you to connect the YouTube channel itself to your website, and then that is able to then go live automatically when your stream starts to YouTube. That process is a little bit involved, so make sure to reach out to our support team if you need any kind of direct assistance, making sure that that's going to work for you before your next important stream. There's also paid options. So if you want that extra, that really nice shiny look on your content that you're streaming directly to your website, I would highly recommend investigating either Wowza or Akamai, as they are the professional version of streaming content to your personal website or your business website. And that's going to give you the ultimate options and what it looks like, what the feel is, and also is going to give it that professional feel without it saying, YouTube or Facebook at the top.
Yeah, no, totally. Oops, so sorry. I'm just trying to boom, get us both on this screen again. So I actually also think that embedding to the website is a great idea as well, and totally should be utilized as getting more views is that's what the multi-streaming is about. So definitely yes, and thank you, Sean, for walking us through some of the possibilities how to do it. We actually got a few questions on how to schedule a video in advance and how to share the link with the audience. Do you want to quickly, as maybe showcase us where do you find that information in account?
Absolutely. If you'll activate my screen share, I will go there directly. So inside of your Restream account up here in the top left, you're going to find an option that says events. Of course, you could use these buttons here, but I really want to give you the full view of what the events functionality looks like. So inside of Restream events, you'll have the ability to see your upcoming streams, which you'll notice this is our stream right here that we're currently in, as well as all of your historical streams. So when you're creating a stream in the future, we call that an event. So with an event, it will automatically place an upcoming event on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube if you are using those channels, which can be quite helpful for your people to be able to see the media in advance, to know to reserve or select to have that content be visible, or reminded of that content coming up soon. This is also where you would go to schedule a content to play that is either uploaded or pre-recorded on your Restream account. I'll do that in just a moment. But for now, we'll go ahead and click into this creating a scheduled stream. I'm going to create a test. We'll call this test 2 so there's no confusion. You can select the date. Go ahead and make sure you put it sometime in the future. You can, of course, set it to go live right away if that's your preferred, just to be able to use the event functionality. But you can also set it as far in advance as you'd like. Well, you can also upload an image for a graphic. I don't have any graphics in this user profile to be able to show you, but you would be able to add a special graphic. Thumbnails are really important for YouTube and Facebook and other platforms because it does allow for the content to have a little bit more engagement even before you're streaming. The next page is going to ask you where you would like that streaming content to go. I'm going to go ahead and toggle them all off because it makes it easier for me with all these many channels that I have. But I am going to turn on LinkedIn and YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and create this event. It's going to show up on my list immediately. It is also then going to give me the really useful option to go directly to that event. So you'll see that I clicked on the channels. Excuse me, I moved a little quickly there. If you select on the channels here, it's going to take you to the settings. Within the settings, you can go directly to the YouTube channel. And this is actually that event that I just created, set to go live 6 days from now. And I was able to do that with just a few button clicks. And the same thing works for LinkedIn as well. You can click that LinkedIn and go directly to this upcoming event. This is made possible by integrations that have been created by LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, and we're leveraging those technologies to be able to further improve our product as well. Something worth noting is something you'll see here as well. Paired channels. Boy, that's a brand new feature that we've just released, and this is great. This is a way of maximizing your distribution by sharing your stream itself with other people. This could be colleagues, this could be other media creators on the internet. Basically anybody that you share this link to can then pair or connect their Restream channels to your event. We actually are doing that right now. This is a stream that's on Restream's account, but I paired my personal channels. So I'm sure that my family is also watching on all of my social media channels as well. But with this link, you send this to a colleague or somebody who you're going to be creating content with, or somebody who would like to distribute your media, and they just go through a couple clicks and they can go ahead and be able to have that ready to go. And actually it's going to work right away. And you can even see in here, on this channel, this is the stream we're doing right now, you can see that there are lots of channels and most of these are my personal ones. So it's pretty great.
Awesome. We actually had a question from Anya asking exactly this question. If I have an interview and I want to stream to my guest channels, what should I do? And I think, Sean, you just covered. So regarding the pair channels, in your opinion, what are the other ways we can utilize this pair feature that that people can be using in order to go live? What is the other possibilities for pairing in this case, or why should be interested to do that in the first place?
Partnerships. I think that if you're in a partnership relationship with your business and another business, or with your product and another product, if there's any kind of connections happening at a business level, it's an amazing way to leverage the community that exists for two separate products and bring them into one. The best parts of that are that the chats from all of those people are going to be driven back into the primary account so that you can easily respond to all of the people who are watching. It also provides for some amount of cross-platform communication so that you would be able to see chats that are coming in from YouTube on other platforms. Also with the paired channels, it's going to give you the maximum amount of distribution and without necessarily having to share credentials. because that was the old way, right? That was how it used to be. You used to have the person actually sign into their Facebook account inside of your Restream account, and it was really complicated. Or even having to have a Facebook group or page become an admin, and that gives you a lot of access. You don't necessarily want to give every person you're creating content with admin access to your Facebook account. So instead, with the pairs functionality, it's a one-time connection that's immediately severed at the end of that event, and it allows for you to have a lot more control over the access and the media that you're creating.
Awesome. No, it's true. I feel like this is a true restreaming or true multi-streaming, as if you will. So, and at any point you can switch or turn them on or off. So it's super cool. We have interview with 5 people, and then 5 people, all of them can add their channels and stream to their social networks as well. Especially, this is super useful, especially if you have some important guests coming in into the studio, and you know promoting them, you promote yourself as well. It's kind of a win-win, no matter how you look at it. It's really partnership. We actually got a question from Roberto on, and this was this is
Ah,
one of the things we wanted to give, as, was our riddle question as well for giveaway. Maybe we can answer and pick up a different riddle question instead. How many pair channels can we have, Sean? Is there any secret to this? Is there any
there
limit to
is.
this as well?
There is. There are, in theory, there are two limits. So the limit being the number of people who can pair and the number of channels each person can pair that are invited to pair their account to the host's account. A great way of explaining this is that it's 10 for 10. So you can have 10 people pair, and each of those people can pair up to 10 channels, also known as destinations. So the maximum you can have paired to your event, because it's event based, is going to be 100, which is, can you imagine sending your content to 100 different social
Oh
medias?
my God,
I mean,
this is so huge.
if yeah, the likelihood that there would be at least 10 people watching on each one of those, you've just hit 1,000 people who are potentially watching your content. If you're curious, we have a current number of 7 pair channels in here right now, and it could have been many, many more. And with that, you're going to be looking at, basically how many people you want to invite. Each one of those people able to connect up to 10 of their own personal social media channels.
It's awesome. I think last time we streamed to 21 channel at the same time. I don't think I remember seeing that many channels. So, you always think about your own channels when you go thinking about going live. But hey, just invite a friend or not like a lead from your industry to the interview and pair up with them and go live to their channels as well. With this in mind, Roberto, also very good question. Do they people need to be on the stream in order to pair the channels, or does it happen
Mm.
automatically? What is your take on this?
Oh, that's possibly the best part too, is that you don't have to have that person actively in your stream to have them pair. You can have ghost partnerships where someone is paired in advance, and then with that pairing, the content's going to automatically be delivered there. That also allows for you to use this functionality outside of the Restream Studio. Maybe you're going live with Ecamm, or maybe you're going live with a different external encoder, even Zoom, because they do support broadcasting. And with that, you would be able to then pull in these additional people's social media channels and stream to these destinations as well. It's seamless. Once that pairing has been completed, the person who paired, or the guest in that situation, can see the event on their account. They can even modify the paired channels if they choose to do so. And the host can also see how many people have paired and what channels have been paired, and also has ultimate control over who's going to eventually be the destinations that are sent to. All of this happens under the events platform inside of Restream. So make sure you know that that's the top option on the left-hand side that I clicked on earlier. That'll take you directly to the events management page. And from there, you would be able to see what events you have coming, what paired channels are there. You can also retroactively gather that paired link if you need to send it out to more people.
Awesome. Yeah, no, in this situation, the more the merrier. And we got some comments that this is an awesome feature, and Vas can't agree more. We are super happy. It's been in release just a month ago, and definitely something that we are new thing that we're looking into promoting more, and allowing more people to join it. Keep in mind that you have to be on professional plan in order to use this feature, so it's starting from professional plan onwards that is available. Awesome. Okay, I'm just gonna go back to a uh, few questions that I'm it says few questions for the Restream mag. So what so I'm gonna come back to a few questions, and maybe then we can do the giveaway, or do you want to give away now?
No, we'll wait till the end. We'll hold everybody in suspense.
We hold everybody in suspense. Amazing. Okay, so I'm just gonna come back to the previous questions that we had, and then I'm gonna answer. We're gonna pick up some of the newer questions. We had a question a couple of times been asked about streaming videos when during the live stream. So let me just quickly find it. But the question was, can we stream a video within the stream itself? And maybe this is something that we can show how to enable it as well. Yep.
Definitely. So the ability to stream pre-recorded content is a primary feature of the events platform as well. So when you are inside of the events platform, you'll also select the same create events button in the top right, and it's going to immediately ask you which content you would like to set up for an advanced playback. It's going to be either the stream live content, which is the option I selected at the beginning of this presentation. But now we're going to think about it differently. We're going to use highly completed content, whether it was pre-recorded through the Restream platform itself, or if you created it professionally using a professional setup or studio, you can then use this functionality here to be able to do so. So I'm going to go ahead and select a demo video that I have. And basically, this is one I uploaded to the account in advance. So you could also select a recording from a previous stream that you've done. But in this situation, I'm going to select a uploaded video, which is limited based on the plan that you have on Restream. So make sure you have a plan that's compatible with the size and length of the videos you want to upload in advance. By selecting next, it's going to take me to the very familiar page we've seen before. This is the event creation page. So it would, in the same situation, we're going to do a test video uploaded. And with that as well, the description is equally as important as the title. This is where you're adding the flair, the intuitive information for what the content is that you're going to be presenting. Because remember, this does post an event posting on YouTube, LinkedIn, and or Facebook in advance that allows people to subscribe to be able to be reminded to watch this content in the future. Excellent for marketing. As well as you can come in here, select the date and time. It's going to automatically populate your local region based on the settings in your browser. And you can also upload a thumbnail. One quick note, do make sure that the thumbnail that you're uploading meets these requirements. It's very helpful for the actual receipt of that content on the end platforms. And then select next. Next is where we would pick the channels for which you want that content to be delivered. So we'll go ahead and turn them all off, and we'll just pick one or two, because this is directly to one area. You can also add more channels here if you needed to do so. If there was a last minute change you wanted to do, absolutely able to do that as well. Once that content is created, I think I exited it out. Oops. Anyway, I can go back through real quick. Test. And create content. Why that just put at least 3 or 4 posts right on YouTube. So be careful you actually do it deliberately. But with this is content. You can tell here that it has a pre-recorded or a recording that is attached to it. You can see that here because of this icon. You can also tell that there is not an option to join with the Restream Studio. Okay, so that lets you know for sure that this is media that was uploaded or created in advance and is now set to go live automatically without your direct attention at that time and date that you set, which can be great for being able to reuse previously made content or being able to go live at a timeline or at a time that maybe you were not personally able to stream, but you wanted to maintain that relationship you have with your viewers and to make sure your followers are still seeing this a wonderful opportunity and things are happening. You can also see that it gives you the ability to see the upcoming content that's going to be starting soon, and you can also delete it. So I hope that helps give you a basic understanding of how the Restream events platform can be used in conjunction with the video storage that's available with the professional above plan. You're muted.
Again, thank you, Sean, for for showing us how to do this. And this is actually very competitive with the question that we have. And next one coming in is it possible to run multiple sessions at the same time? So, for example, broadcasting something and then having something else. So in my understanding, it is possible if one session is pre-recorded and the other one you just record the session, but it is not possible to go live at the same destination at the same time, because then there's just going to be, the system would not know which content to show first. But is there anything I'm missing in this way?
It's an excellent question. And something I see come through support quite frequently is the need to stream concurrent media to the same platforms. In most cases, platforms are capable of supporting multiple inputs at the same time. Specifically, Facebook and YouTube will allow you to stream media concurrently at the same time to the same platform. What's important to note is that one source content from within a Restream account can be selected at one time. So you would not be able to have overlapping media streaming concurrently from one account. But don't worry, you're welcome to have as many Restream accounts as you would like, each one with its own email address, to be able to then stream concurrently to the same platforms different content. The most common use case I see for this is needing to have a bilingual content delivery option, where maybe your content is in both English and Spanish or any other language, and then be able to have that happening at the exact same time. You would just need to have an English Restream account and then a second Restream account for the purpose of distributing the same content but in a second language.
Okay, thank you. And is it possible to stream to the same destinations at the same time, or yeah, okay,
You
cool.
can, in most cases. The only exception to that is LinkedIn. LinkedIn does not allow for concurrent media of the same media to be sent to their platform more than once. You'll see a warning if you try and add a second LinkedIn account on your Restream channel list, and that's deliberate. That is an expectation of the terms and conditions associated with LinkedIn, and they want to make sure that the media that's presented on their platform is unique. It helps maintain the quality of their content. The alternative to that is YouTube. YouTube would be fine with you sending the same media multiple times. Keep in mind, to add 2 channels of the same service on Restream is going to require a paid plan. We call that an extra channel.
Okay, cool. That's something that I learned today new. I thought it would be possible because the system will go bazingo, but is it possible to stream content and then record content at the same time, or how does it how does that happen?
So also a great question. All streams that pass through your Restream account on a paid plan are recorded. The only exception to that is if you're playing a pre-recorded content through our service, we don't re-record that content a second time. It already exists in a recorded feed function, so we don't take that amount of effort. But if you're using the Restream Studio to go live, even if you don't have any channels connected, we're going to record that for you. So you can actually use the Restream Studio as a media creation tool that you then download that media to your computer, and maybe you don't even stream it. Maybe you use it for internal purposes, or we keep talking about interviews, but maybe you just want to record an interview in a setting like this that allows for you to be able to then download that interview and use it internally to be able to maybe review it later or have other people review the interview content itself. So the recording features of Restream are very robust and extend all the way to podcasts. We get a lot of questions about podcasting, and one of the best features of the Restream recording is the ability to download audio-only recordings. And if you are using the professional or above plan, it goes so far as to allow you to download individual tracks of the people who are in the Restream Studio, allowing for audio isolation. If maybe people were all talking at the same time, you can pull out just one person's audio and be able to use that for an internal project. And that's once again the what we call split audio tracks available in the professional plan and above.
Wow, this is super cool. I feel like for podcasters, it's probably one of the best features out there. Reusing the materials scheduled later on for your different websites or any as a music even only or audio even only. That sounds really interesting, really cool. And it's super amazing that you don't even have to be live to record it. You can just go recording, or you can go live and it will automatically record it as well. There's so many different options that you can use. That feels just so many functionality there. Pretty cool feature. Awesome. Okay, so I think it's a good time for giveaways. So this question we actually already asked, or already answered, but here the question is one more time. So the first person who is gonna type how many channels you can add with Restream pairs will get a mug from us delivered to them if they contact support. So how many channels you can add with Restream pairs? Anyone? If the first person typing in the response will get a
Ooh.
mug. Nice. Woohoo. Oh, we got so many answers. Nice. Thank you guys for paying close attention. And the person who responded first was Wes. So Wes, please talk to our support and ask for the mug, and we will definitely send out um, we will definitely send you a mug as soon as we'll definitely send you a mug. So please contact our support. Awesome. Thank you so much. There are so many correct responses as well. So this was second response from Samantha. Ed was very close. 10 is a 10 by guest. Roberto, 10 out of 10. Very good. Thank you so much for providing responses. And Wes, congratulations one more time. Okay, so we have one more question coming in from Jeffrey asking, is there a way to schedule unlisted or private stream? There is definitely a way, especially when it comes to YouTube or likes of YouTube. Do you want us to show us a little bit, or do you, Sean, or do you want to just talk about it? So.
Oh, I've got it open. If you're welcome to activate my
Yeah.
screen share, and I will show it one more time. So when you're in the event creation process, let's do it with a scheduled recording, because I think that that's more of what was being asked in this situation. I'm just going to pick one at random, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the next page. So you'll, of course, have to name it. So we're going to test unlisted. And I'm going to set this to be in the future. And it's on this page that those questions are going to be asked. So when you're inside of the channel selection, I'm going to select YouTube. And then this is that extra step that's necessary to make sure that you're getting the settings that you're looking for. You want to make sure to click the edit button. And this is editing that specific destination. And we're going to go ahead and change the privacy on this to private. Actually, let's do unlisted. Keep in mind, unlisted just means that it's available, but only to people that you share the URL to that content with people. So it can be both public and private kind of at the same time. And it's great for if you have an email distribution list that you send media to that you want to keep maybe a little bit more private, but that is still valuable content to the people who follow you. And then when you click the save button, of course, it's going to automatically add those settings. And you can see in here where I have the name of the test is unlisted, and I can select create event. So I selected one channel. It was YouTube, and I modified that channel to be ready for unlisted media. And of course, I am going to go ahead and delete these because I want to make sure that I'm not going live when I'm not noticing, which has happened to me in the past. So.
Awesome. No, I think like this is actually super cool feature if you want to test your settings, you want to test the setup, you want to test how does it look like. I send a ton of unlisted YouTube videos to my YouTube channel, and all of them are named test. So I hope YouTube is not
Ooh.
monitoring that the 100 videos are test only. And definitely, this is the best way to test any feature, test your setup, test your mics, test everything, or just go live to a private channel as well. Yeah.
Wes has an excellent question I think we should end on.
So,
Um, which is basically how to contact support, which is in some ways contacting the team that I support directly. There's several ways. The way I highly recommend is to go to our website, restream.io, and click the option in the bottom right-hand corner. It's a little bubble icon. That's going to connect you directly to the Restream chat. That's staffed 24 hours a day with a highly bilingual staff that you're able to then reach out to directly, whether it's to ask questions, solve problems, find more creative ways to have engaging content. All of these things are possible with our support team. And for you, Wyatt, make sure you mention that you were the winner of our competition here for the mug. So you want to make sure you get the link for how to apply for that. But then also there are other ways. You can DM us on Twitter. We have a very active Twitter following, and so we would love to see your input, however you want to get it to us. We're always here.
yeah, no, that's awesome. Thank you. And also, I think the best part about our team is that we're placed in so many different locations. We're so multinational. I think it's only two people really from the same location. The rest of them is just different locations across the Europe, Asia, and USA. So it's amazing. Cool. I have one more question here from Jeffrey as well regarding the um, is it possible to schedule a video directly via YouTube rather than through Restream? Would you have to do a customer or team PO, or can you go over through that process?
Sure. That's a very good question. It has a lot of answers. That's the best part. So if you've created an event on YouTube directly, not using the Restream Events platform, but you went to YouTube and you created an upcoming event, you can connect to it using the event, or excuse me, the channel selection option. If you recall, when I added the YouTube channel at the very top, it had an option for create new, or I could select a pre-recorded or pre-created event from the YouTube platform. It's a great way to connect and still support the API features like chat and titles. The other option is like what you mentioned, the custom RTMP channel can be used to connect to a YouTube event that's pre-created. It's a great way to connect to somebody else's YouTube event that they've created on their account, and maybe you only have a loose affiliation. You can ask them, may I please gather the YouTube URL and key for that specific event? I'll connect it with a custom RTMP channel and stream at the time that we've agreed to. So those are a great option. I would encourage you to investigate the options available with our support team. If you would like to investigate that further, we can definitely support you in that adventure.
Cool. We also got a question from
Huh.
Alex on Twitter, and I think we were expecting this question. S- so there's because the Periscope is sunsetting already this Friday, and it's gonna go completely out. And Twitter is indeed building up the integration, and it's already in the testing. That's one of the things, reasons we were doing a lot of testing today. It's going to be released in account tomorrow or today already, if not already in the account. So it is very fresh and it's already live or going to be live very soon as Periscope is sunsetting. At least I was able to send my first stream to Twitter today already. So this is definitely happening very soon as we speak. So it's definitely in the kitchen, and this week, today or tomorrow, you'll have it already in the account. Cool. Just a few last questions. We're gonna wrap up the show. So please, if you have any more questions, please put them here as well. Um, Roberta is asking how to stream it to Instagram, and can we stream to Instagram in general, overall, and when we will be able to stream. So if I understand correctly, Roberta's question, when Instagram will finally become part of Restream, a family channel. So there is no need anymore to do this customer team keys, settings, and setups. And I think the answer to this is that we don't know. Unfortunately, this decision is not held with us. It's held with Facebook and Instagram directly. This is something that they have decided for their strategy. And but as soon as it's going to be live, we will be there to follow. So kind of very similar process with Twitter. Twitter only released their API this week, and we are already launching the API in our account as well. And as soon as Instagram is there with their API, we will be the first one to put it into our account as well, and to embed it with us as well as soon as we can. Awesome. Guys, any last question, any last remarks before we wrap up our show? Please do so. If not, and allow us to say thank you as well for watching us and having this stream. Maybe the last question we can answer as well, something that we kind of touched base a little bit, is there any limit to the channels? Is there any limit to channels that you can add with Restream, that something that you know of?
Well, there is going to be some limits depending on what your goals are. So if you wanted to add one of all of the 30 that we offer for free, you can add one of each at no additional cost. The question becomes, what are the channels you're adding? If you're wanting to add 10 YouTube channels, you would definitely need to investigate our premium plan, which would allow for you to have up to 10 custom or extra channels, which would be how you would duplicate the same destination multiple times on your account at the same time. And so these are kind of going to be identifying what your use case is and finding what the best plan is. Are there limits? Of course there's limits, but are they things that we can work with you to mitigate or go beyond? Absolutely. Just help us help you.
And also, don't forget, there is a cool feature in our Restream pairs where you can go to the destinations of your guests or friends or whoever you additional destinations. So I think it's pretty bizarre. You can add like a 30 destinations through Restream and then like 100 through pairs. So totaling 130 channels is just yeah, if it's not the whole world, I don't know. Oh, it's obviously not a whole world, but it depends who you choose to pair with. So it's pretty wide audience. It's a lot of channels there, and it also depends on your plans as well. So just a few last questions we have here. So ooh, this is a great feedback from Ron. Oh, this is amazing. Thanks, Ron. This is super great to hear. We love to hear feedback from users, and we love to improve. And this is one of the just made our day. Thank you so much. We're definitely gonna pass it to your team as well, so they know. Last a few last questions as well from Kaiju Labs. Is there any possible to add a custom layout?
It's an excellent question. Custom layouts. So that could mean a lot of things. Are you referring to the ability to move people around? Because you can drag people from one side of the page to the other. And then also with the ability to use the overlay graphics, you can customize and change what the look of the content on the studio actually looks like. Now, if you're asking for like ultimate customization, I would recommend contacting our support team for the opportunity to submit feature requests that meet your exact goals, because our product developers are always looking at opportunities to grow and improve our product. And a lot of those great ideas come from our customers. So we do have a robust opportunity for being able to get that feedback from our customers, also vote on other people's feedback, and be able to identify what the best course of action would be for our future product development. So I want to say yes, but I might have to say yes in the future.
Yeah, yeah, Sean's spot on. It kind of depends on what layouts you mean. As you can see, we have a customized background. We have custom starting video, custom ending video, custom graphics, custom per different brands as well now. So there's a lot of customization possible with the layouts, and this is one of my favorite ones you can see you can do. So is that where you can just show our names as well. This is pretty cool, and this is also built in custom in-house for us as well. So different possibilities exist here. Okay, so I don't see a lot of questions coming in. I have these questions from Pratful regarding the LTD options. LTD means the resolution, or okay, so or something else. Could you maybe elaborate a little bit on this one?
And I saw that one too, and I'm curious what the acronym stands for. And I would say that if it's a streaming platform or service, you can connect it with a custom RTMP channel. If it doesn't support RTMP, lifetime deals. So there are an occasional lifetime deal that's posted through a partner relationship that we have. The name escapes me at the moment, but we do have a very rare occasion where those would become available. What is an option in almost every situation is our lifetime 17% off discount opportunity that's available to anyone who's able to commit to a year of our service in advance. That's going to save you 2 months of any plan you select. So basically you'd get a year's worth of service for 10 months worth of pay. And that's universal. That is applicable to any paid plan on our service. And we would love to help you benefit from that.
Wow, this is awesome. 2 months for free. This is pretty cool. I didn't realize it before, so it's a really, really a good option. And yes, so this option is available for everybody right now. So when you join, it's already there. But yes, the Black Fridays are coming. So there's definitely going to be a sale on Black Friday, and there's much more to come. There's one question from Ed that we missed, and Ed, thank you so much for reposting it again. Is it possible to add backgrounds for the time that we are streaming? So again, the backgrounds, do you mean like a green screen, or the background, do you mean like what we currently have on the background right now, and showing the background of different graphics? Graphics are definitely available. So like this, for example, there's also options for moving graphics as well. So some movement in the video, in the show. And Sean, do you know anything about like a green screen, like something that you have right now at your back as well?
So I do have a few solutions for green screen, both from a perspective of free, easy to access, and paid options. I personally use SnapCam because it gives a lot of fun to your streams. So if you use the SnapCam integration, it's just an app you install that then uses your webcam to create a custom virtual webcam that is then utilized in the Restream Studio. There is another option known as it's yes, that's literally what it's called. App, and it's a paid virtual green screen function that is so much more than that. It also offers custom whiteboarding, the ability to add overlay graphics that appear on the left or right side of your camera. There's lots of functionality in the tool, and I would recommend that to anyone who wants to have that extra level of options available on their camera sources. It is also very affordable. I believe it's less than $20 a month, so it's very affordable for the level of production that adds with just a few button clicks.
Nice. No, totally. I always love how the people in our team, when during the team meetings or so, people appear with the different backgrounds and hats and the masks and everything. It just adds the extra layer of fun to our team meetings or streams. So it's pretty amazing. So I definitely advise to check it out for you guys as well. Lovely. Okay, so I think we're coming into the end of the show for sure. Let's do our usual high five. Damn, I haven't done it in a while. So 1, 2, 3, boom. 1, 2, 3, yay! we hit this
Go
one.
team!
So, go team! Amazing. Thank you guys again for watching, and thank you guys for staying with us. Hopefully we've answered all of your questions. If there's anything more, please do contact us, contact our support team. We will be happy to chat with you. And stay tuned. More shows are coming every second Wednesday. And stay tuned for our YouTube channel. There's a lot of amazing additional information for you. And I hope it was useful and you enjoy streaming with Restream. Have a good one.